Hey. Hello everyone. No, don't get scared. Just sit down. We're gonna talk about something that I really like. Apex Legends. So today I wanted to talk about Control specifically and pretty much the game overall. So far Control has been added at least like 3 times. For different events and different skin event, to be more specific. And I kinda disappointed a little bit. But at the same time happy to see then Control still being added, not permanently, unfortunately, but what I'm trying to say is I know deep down that Respawn Entertainment can actually do better than this. Control has been added like 3 times in total and doesn't really feel different from the first or even second time. I believe they added a map and that later on got removed and did not see. I forgot the name of the map. All I remember it was a gas station or whatever. I think it was like a caustic lab. But the problem is, we are talking about developers who made probably one of the best multiplayer game you can imagine. Titanfall 2 to be more specific, and it's a game that I play at release, even though unfortunately this game ended up being released in the same time as Battlefield 1. Just explanation about why the game didn't do so well, because there were also Call of Duty Infinite during that year, so the sell wasn't that good, unfortunately. So Respawn was kind of like forced to do something else, but they decided to keep reusing same universe and everything to make a game called Apex Legends. Definitely my favorite Battle Royale game. I really love Apex Legends. But the problem is it's not the easy game to get through. You have an ability that you need to learn. You need to learn enemies' abilities, the weapons, everything, the movement also are very important. But the problem is there's no mode beside Arena currently that can be very useful for new players. I mean, I know this is a game that's not technically dying. I always get a little bit upset whenever I see those videos about Apex Legends dying. Technically, the game is losing a bit of popularity, even though I feel like it was normal to see. Since Overwatch was released, Call of Duty released their game. So technically, yes, it will eventually lose a little bit in popularity, but I think the main issue, it's the lack of mode, the lack of content. I think it's very crucial for a game to feel like a package, to offer a lot. And I think that's the reason why Apex Legends may lose a lot of players. Because there's not much to do besides playing VR, rank, even though this season kinda suck, because you're stuck playing on the same map for 80 days. And it wasn't a good decision, even though I really love the new map, but I don't think it was the right call to make. The pro player scene is getting less, not only interesting to watch, because people just don't want to play the game anymore, but the game itself is doing fine enough to survive, but not doing that well, unfortunately. I see a lot of people play, I see a lot of people on Twitter making clips, gameplay, so obviously people are still enjoying and playing the game, but I want a game to do even better than that. I know deep down Respawn can actually do better, since Titanfall 2 was just have such a great multiplayer experience, and some people might even say that I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I feel like it was a complete masterpiece and probably one of the best FPS games you could play. But unfortunately, it's very difficult for me to recommend the game to anybody, because apparently some people are hacking the servers, so it makes the game even less playable. Apparently some people just really want the game to die and ruin the experience for everybody, but I just want to give some ideas. I love Control. I would love to have a mode like a deathmatch, King of the Hill, maybe even capture the flag if it's possible. Even though I feel like all the Octane mains gonna be the first one to capture the flag, but it'd be nice to see some new stuff. Maybe having map designed specifically around the mode. Maybe reusing map like a arena map and redesigned it. I don't know. Maybe using map from Titanfall 2 on the multiplayer and try to create a great PvP experience, because I feel like that can be very, very useful for the game and very great to enjoy for all the players, the casual one, the OG. I mean, take for example Valorant. They have a deathmatch that is great for new players because they get to play a mode that allow them to respawn. They get to use all the guns and get used to everything. They're not allowed to use their abilities though, but they at least have a mode that they can use to practice, decide the test range. Then at the end of the day, you can run if you don't know how to walk, so it's better to have modes like this for your game. Look at what the community is willing to do actually, to download a version of the game that allow them to shoot dummies on the map, and that means a lot. You need game mode like a team deathmatch or control, something that can stay permanent for players to practice their strategy, their ability, their approach, their everything pretty much. So it will be very nice to have a permanent mode and it receive a lot of support, because at the end of the day I really love Apex Legends. I have quite a good amount of hours in the game, that much, not more than other players, but the game that I enjoy and definitely one of my favorite BR. I want a game to do well, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who think that way. So it will be very, very nice if they introduce a specific map designed for the mode. I hear rumors about Arena maybe getting removed for Control to be there permanently, even though that's something I want to see. I wish I could see Control in Arena and the BR and rank all together. It'd be very nice if the game have more content. But I guess it can be a little bit easier for the developers to just work on the game if there's less content. It's a little bit easier to just maybe optimize, and you're less likely to run into like technical issues since you have less stuff to test or whatever. I don't know what's the real reason, to be honest. I hope it's not true. I hope they're not gonna remove Arena to have Control instead. And I hope both modes can stay permanently, and maybe even more. But it's a game that I really want to do. It's a game that I really like, and I want it to do well. So I hope they will introduce some mode, like again, in that match, maybe having a free-for-all, but nobody got abilities. I mean, like I said earlier, Valorants have a deathmatch and other modes for the casual players, for the new players to get used to, and that's what Apex Legends need. Even though deep down, all I really want is a Titanfall 3, but let's be honest, it's probably never gonna happen. Especially right now, they want to focus mostly on what they have. And I also hear they want to make a single player game with the Apex Legends cast, with all the character. Even though it's cool, but technically I really was just hoping for Titanfall 3. But I digress. I mean, I want to hear your opinion about this. Am I the only one who think that way? I doubt. I'm pretty sure a good amount of people in the community just want to see more content for the game. And please leave a like if you enjoyed, and you want to help me even more, you can subscribe. That will help a ton. So like always, bye bye, take care, see you next time.